Hey, what's up guys, it's FaZe, and in today's video I want to talk about something really important. I want to talk about how I got my first ever client to pay me $35,000. Now, before I get into this video, I want to talk a little bit about my background and talk a little bit about how I got to this point, because I truly believe that that's a lot more important than actually achieving it is the process. And it's all cool that you guys are gonna say, oh, okay, cool, like you signed a client, you made money. But the real gems and the real value that you're gonna get out of this video is when you can implement the same things that I did in my journey and implement them into your journey, okay? So let me start completely from the beginning. I've been trying to make money online since I was about 18 years old. I've tried so many different business models. I've tried drop shipping, I've tried social media marketing agencies for dentists, chiropractors, HVAC, construction companies. I think I've opened up like 8 or 9 different drop shipping stores, and all of them failed. I'm not the definition of an overnight success. If anything, I'm the complete opposite of that. And the reason why I'm making this video today is because I want to show people that you can get to where you want to go if you follow a direct roadmap, okay? And there are a couple of things that really helped me along in my journey, and I'm basically just gonna tell you the whole journey. So here it is. Around 2018, 2019, I was about 19 years old, 19, 20, and I was trying drop shipping. I think I'd failed like in 8 or 9 different stores. I think I spent over like 10 grand on Facebook ads and all of these courses and stuff, and nothing was ever working for me. It was a really tough time because all my friends were in school and they were studying to become doctors, lawyers, engineers, and I was just studying marketing. I was studying lead generation. I was studying sales, and nothing was working out for me. You know, it was a really rough time, and it even got to the point where my own family was kind of starting to tell me to be realistic and maybe to explore some more realistic options of making money in a career. And you know, it was a really rough time, because when you really believe in yourself so much and nothing is panning out for you, it's hard because you almost have to force yourself to live in a delusion land. You know, there's so many people that are going to tell you that you can't do it, and the results of your own work are showing you that maybe this isn't for you. And at that time, it's really important to dig deep and just become obsessed with what your mission is and what you're trying to do, and kind of just blank out everything else. But at the same time, it is important to take aspects of what people are saying, especially if they're close to you, and try to implement those into your life. So for example, I think I'd spent over $20,000 of my money without seeing any money back on all those social media marketing agencies and all those drop shipping stores. And then I finally decided to get a 9-to-5. It was a really low point in my life because I always tried to do everything I could possibly do to stay away from that life. And I felt like God was kind of just messing with me, saying, okay, well, here it is, go, here's your biggest fear, you're gonna go live it, right? And in the grand scheme of things, it's not a big deal, but for me, I was always so obsessed with entrepreneurship, and I wanna have my own business, and I wanna be my own boss, and then for reality just kind of punched me in the face like that. It was hard, you know? But nevertheless, I went and took that route because I'm like, I need to make some money, I need to add some structure in my life, I need to add some discipline in my life. So I took a sales job as a sales development representative at a tech company, right? So what my job was I had to generate leads for this company. I did that via cold calling, cold emailing, and LinkedIn. And a couple of months in, I started to realize that, like, you know, I'm pretty good at this. I'm getting good at this. And of course, the entrepreneur side of me started kicking in, started nudging into me. And I just kept getting these thoughts in my head, like, oh, like, we need to start our own business. We need to start our own business. And at this time, during this time, I was still researching online business. I was still trying to build side hustles on the side, and nothing was going for me. But once I figured out I had this skill set, and it was pretty easy to learn, and this is what I'm gonna show you guys how to do as well. Once I learned this skill set of generating leads for businesses, my whole entire life changed. So once I understood that basically every single business needs to generate leads, and by leads, I mean they need to generate people who are interested in their product or service, and they will pay a lot of money to get that, my whole life changed. Basically, I had like a switch flipped in my head where I was like, why am I just doing this for one company when I could just do this for so many other companies at the same time, right? And then I got to work. I set up a website, got the LLC, set up everything in like a day, and then I started sending out emails to people, right? Essentially, what I loved about this model was the same way that I'm going to get my customer, is the same thing that I'm going to do for the customer, right? So with lead generation, I'm going to be generating leads for myself, which is generating interest. And then with those people who are interested, I'm going to, if they agree to work with me, I'm going to help them generate interest for their product or their business, right? So that's what I did. And for like 3-4 months, I reached out every single day. I think I was sending like videos to prospects. I was sending LinkedIn messages to prospects. I was sending cold emails to prospects. I was cold calling prospects. I was doing this every single day. And you know, still nothing was going for me. And I think it gets to the point of where you ever see that picture where there's two people who are digging for gold or digging for diamonds, and then there's the one guy, he's so close, he's literally like right there, and then he turns around and quits, right? And that's usually when we quit. It's like when we're like right there, right? And I remember I had a buddy of mine who was really doing well in online business. He had his own marketing agency, and he kept telling me, he's like, dude, like you're so close to the diamonds, like you just keep going, like you've just been in the trenches for so long. This is just how it works. You have to pay your dues, you have to eat the shit, you just have to get through it. And then once you get it, then your whole life will change. And I just kept going. I was just relentless about it. And then finally, on September 29th, 2021, I still remember the date, and you could see the message right here. I got someone to be interested in my service. And that day changed my life. I still remember the feeling in my soul, like knowing that someone was interested. I was ecstatic. I was like, let's get it. Like I was so hyped, but the job wasn't finished, right? Because now I have to get them on the call and I have to close them. So I was still straight faced. I was like, let's get it. Let's get after it, right? So I scheduled the call, and then I remember hopping on the call, and the prospect was super nice. She was good. She was the chief revenue officer of a tech company. And I was telling her about my experience and what I've done and how I could help her. And I was a beginner, right? So I had to find a way to structure my deal in a way which was a no-brainer. So the way that I did it was a performance offer. And this is something that you guys can implement as well. So I charged a setup fee of $2,000, and then I only charged for every qualified lead that I bring to the business. So I would charge $350 for every lead that I booked for the client, right? So this basically took all the risk away from them. So I was only going to get paid if I get results. I only get paid if I get results for them. So it's basically a no-brainer, right? And then they agreed. I sent over the contract. I got it signed. I got my first invoice paid. This is actually a screenshot of my first invoice that I ever got paid, which changed my life. And I was actually ecstatic that day. I was probably the happiest kid in the world that day, knowing that all that hard work had finally paid off. And that's exactly how it went. But now I want to talk a little bit about how to do it and how you guys can do the same things, okay? So number one, I talked a little bit about what the business model is, but let me break it down a little bit more. The service that you're going to offer is lead generation using cold email. So this is an amazing business model because number one, you're doing the same exact thing you're doing for yourself to get clients, and then you're going to do that for them to get more clients and customers. So it's just an amazing business model for any beginner, because once you learn how to do it for yourself, you could do it for anybody and you could sell it. So I think it's basically one of the best businesses to learn for any beginner and anyone trying to get into online business. It's going to help you build a foundation in sales, in marketing, in talking to people and communicating with people, how to close deals, how to move deals down the pipeline, all these sorts of things. It's really going to give you that strong foundation on how to be a businessman, how to be a business person. Number two, I talked a little bit about the terms of the deal, but essentially how you're going to set up these terms is in a way that's a no-brainer. You have to reverse the risk completely. So what that means is you have to make it so the client has no risk to work with you, right? The only risk that this client had was the initial setup fee of $2,000, but that's pretty much chunk change to these companies, okay? $2,000 setup fee, and then they only pay me once I actually generate them results. If you have a results-based offer, you will never ever worry about money, especially if you can fulfill it, because now you will build confidence, you will build case studies, you will build testimonials, and then you use those case studies and testimonials to show them to other people and blow up even more. So that's how I kind of got to the $20,000 mark, but let's talk about the first client first. I actually ended up working with this client for over a year, and they paid me almost $36,000 for the whole year. And here's actually a Stripe screenshot showing the dashboard, so you know that I'm not lying to you guys. Now, how can you do this? Number one, stick to a plan at least 12 months. That's a year, okay? Stick to it for at least a year. And honestly, all these guys are saying 90 days, you're gonna make it in 90 days, you can make it in 3 months, you can make it in 6 months. You can, but the likelihood of that is very slim. You have to have a base foundational knowledge that you could build build on top of and compound on top of to get results that fast. If you don't have that foundation, build the skills, put your head down, put your nose to the grindstone, and put in the work. Like, there's no excuse. You have to put in the work. There's no shortcut to this. You have to show up every day. You have to fail. You have to get told to fuck off on the cold calls. You have to get told no, take me off your email list 100 times, 1,000 times. You have to continuously send LinkedIn messages and get people to reject you. You just have to play this game. There's no other way to put it. If you want to make it the easy way, then I don't know what you're gonna do, but there's really no easy way. Go get a job at McDonald's or something if you want to have an easy life. And in my opinion, that's not even an easy life. That's an even harder life. So if you really want to make it, put your nose to the grindstone, grind, build your skill set, okay? Number 2 is you need to change your mindset on how success works. There is an algorithm for success, a formula for success, and this is how it goes. It's basically you build an offer, okay? You test the offer, okay? And then you get feedback on the offer from the market, and then you iterate the offer by analyzing it, and then you test again. So this is how the whole cycle works. You do this over and over and over and over again until you get success. You basically craft an offer, you test the offer by launching it to the market, cold emailing people, calling people, hopping on sales calls with people. Then you get feedback from the market. Basically, people are telling you no, people are telling you yes. If people are telling you yes, you double down on it. If people are telling you no, then you analyze that. You analyze that, and then you tweak it, and then you test it again. That's how the whole work. It's a 4-step process. Craft the offer, launch the offer, feedback from the offer, analyze and iterate the offer. That is the algorithm for success in life, in everything, literally in everything. So incorporate that into your life as well and into your business. And before I go and before I end it, I really do want to say that anybody can, I truly believe and I know that anybody can make it. Anybody can make it. Anybody can be successful, but not everybody is going to be successful because not everyone is willing to put in the work, wake up early, sleep late. You know, you come back from work, you're tired, you don't want to put in the work. Like, the people who are going to win are the ones who are going to consistently be relentless on their pursuit. And like, I can't stress that enough. Like, anybody can be successful. You just need the right roadmap, you need the right people around you, and you need to have discipline. If you want to learn how to build your own lead generation business and have a group of people around you that are pushing you to be great, holding you accountable, and want to see you win in life, click the link in my description below. I'm doing a free workshop on how you can build this whole business by yourself with no past experience and build it to a point where you're making 6 figures every year. And if you like this video, like it, share it, throw a subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.